That prompted me to come up with something called the Platinum Pledge, because I realized how much support I got during that very public back and forth that we had. And I said, okay, I want to have a way to galvanize all the people who are ready to lean into this shift that I'm proposing for hip hop. So I turned Platinum into an acronym: people leading a transformation involving newly unified mindsets, right?
Okay.
So the Platinum Pledge
Right.
is meant to get people, it takes 2 seconds. I get people to go on my website and sign this, right?
Yeah.
Name and email. And it says, this is meant to unify all of the people who no longer want to create, support, or promote hip-hop music that glorifies, keyword is glorifies, murder, drug dealing, drug usage, disrespecting women, and sexual irresponsibility, right? And, brother, I have gotten so many. The Platinum Pledge is on its way to going platinum.
It's on its way to go platinum?
Yeah. It's
9 second applause.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Real
That's
talk.
what's up. That's what's up.
So anybody who's watching or hearing this and you feel like, like we need that in hip hop, the Platinum
Send it
Pledge.
to me. I'll send it around.
Yeah, Dee-1music.com. DEE1music.com. And people signing. I went on the Breakfast Club. I told Charlamagne and Envy about it. Charlamagne instantly said, "Oh, I'm supporting that.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with that. Like I rock with that." Now, what has happened with this new Kendrick shout out is he decides to drop Watch the Party Die, and Kendrick is saying the same thing you and I are saying right here in his own creative way. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, yo, this got to stop by any means necessary. And Kendrick is like in a more gruesome way, like detailing how the party needs to die. You know what I mean? But now by him shouting me out in that song and saying, I want to be empathetic, a heart like Dee-1, it has people looking like, well, who is Dee-1 and what is Dee-1's heart like? And that's why I'm like, oh, I'm going to show y'all my heart. Because it ain't just been my heart for the past 6 months.
Right.
It's been my heart for the past 15 years.
Right.
And you could go do your research back to J50 and Weezy. You know what I mean? And I love that my musical catalog shows people what I have represented from day one. I love that the Platinum Pledge shows people what I represent as far as being solution-based. And yeah, man, like this is a great time to be a part of this shift because it's definitely all happening in hip-hop
It's
right
all
now.
happening right now.
Right now.
Right now. 4.6 second applause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I mean, the reaction I got from my audience when I covered one that Dot shouted you and Lecrae out, and then each of y'all's individual tracks was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And my channel is really interesting, right? Because that week I covered a God Body Jay Electronica story. I covered a Christian hip hop story. I covered an Olympic breakdancing update story.
Oh, okay.
I covered a story on. I was actually pretty impressed that the 8 videos really covered. I had a review of a reaction video to Coyote, these Mexican brothers who are phenomenal, incredible. And all the videos performed. Okay. All of them performed. But particularly when I was talking about you and Lecrae, the CHH community really showed up.
They did?
They really showed up in the audience. And they were singing your praises. They were singing Lecrae's praises. Okay. And then they were singing my praises for always giving CHH a fair shot. Because I don't cover it like it's a different thing. Right, I cover it like it's another part of hip-hop. Because it's all happening.
Yeah, there you go, bro. Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's, and the reaction that I've seen you getting online from your tracks, from just the social interaction, it was so refreshing when I was talking about this to be like, yo, Dee-1 has been like this for the whole time, though. Like, that is the best part about it. Like, he has been down. He's been on this the whole time. This isn't a trending topic for him.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. It means so much. It's so much validation amidst even some condemnation that's coming right now.
Beautifully said. I was in a forum and someone posted your response to that. You were talking about you had a lot of validation, but now you had condemnation. I think you had a lot of criticism from people in New Orleans that you were talking about. And I love that phrase, validation and now the condemnation. Can you expound on that?
Yes, sir. So the validation came when I've been having my head down doing this work in the community, but also on wax, musically. I'm 12 albums deep in my catalog, and I've been the same since day one in terms of my heart to be real, be righteous, and be relevant. The validation comes when the most powerful rapper in the world, Kendrick Lamar, says, I want to have a heart like Dee-1 and be empathetic, that all of a sudden makes a bunch of people say, okay, maybe Dee-1 is more of a powerhouse or more of a relevant artist than what we were given credit for. Because if Kendrick knows who he is, and if Kendrick is praising him, then we need to take him more serious. So that validation felt good, right? I realized that validation is not the top of the food chain, though, because validation from human beings can turn into condemnation with one tweet or with one statement that they don't like. So the condemnation came during that same time. I'm like, the same thing in my character that I'm being praised for and Kendrick is saluting me for, the same portion of my character that is causing him to validate me is causing many people in my city to condemn me at the same time, because they're like, oh, here you go talking about people's content and their music, or talking about the direction of the world and our culture. And because of that, you disagreed with our take that Wayne was entitled to perform at the Super Bowl. Man, you know it's supposed to be New Orleans over everything, man. You know that. And I'm like, validation and condemnation all in one breath because of one inspection into my character. And it just shows that perception can be different. Someone can be looking at the same brother with the same character traits, but perceiving him to be two different ways, you know?
Yeah.
There's people who say, oh, I'm a clout chaser now because I did a song responding to Kendrick throwing me the biggest alley-oop in the world.
Right.
You know? And I'm just like, well, I got J50 and Weezy already. I got a 15-year catalog of all these other songs. Sally Mae bag. I got all these songs that y'all could go and listen to, but why not just this week just go and flex right quick and be like, bet, here's a right now rendition of what Kendrick is saying and what I've been saying and where the conversation needs to go, which is call it like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, bro.
I love the track, man. What was my favorite line? You said, don't call me preachy, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And I think what's so funny is that
refer to me as blessed. Yeah.
I was making this don't call me preachy, refer to me as blessed. Yeah, that's it. Because one of the things that I think is I think you're just you're a great example of, if not the best example of, partly related to what you were describing with Rick Ross, is that it's like people have criticism for people or artists or messages that they feel are preachy. But you're bigger than you've ever been.
Yeah, straight up.
There is a market and an audience that what they call this during the election year? What do they call it? The silent majority?
Yes, sir.
I think the silent majority in hip hop right now is a lot bigger than most of the people who are covering this, most of the institutions who are pimping page views out for advertising revenue, more than most of these labels actually realize. The silent majority in hip hop right now is loud to me.
Yeah.
And you see it with the reaction that you and Lecrae have gotten off of this Kendrick Lamar alley-oop.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
4.6 second applause.
Yeah, we need that. We need that, brother. That for people who don't know, like you said, and I say this in the most humble way, but I'm definitely doing better than ever at this stage where I'm also getting more hatred and negativity and vitriol coming my way than ever. So that to me is a testament that God can prove to you that there's a reward for sometimes being willing to make the uncomfortable statement or have the uncomfortable conversation that is needed, because that silent majority, they need a person who's willing to not be silent anymore to represent them. So this majority that we speak of, man, people are tired, brother. Like, people don't want to constantly turn on the radio or turn on the top playlist and have to hear music that glorifies us killing us and us selling dope to us and us disrespecting women. Like, people are tired, but you have to provide an alternative that's still viable in the marketplace, right? You don't get a hall pass just because, well, hey, my stuff is different, so everybody has to like it. You still got to be spitting. The beat still got to be banging. That's why on my Call It Like It Is response, I said, I'm finna take them down south, man. You finna jam out to you finna bounce, you feel me? And this aggression you hear with the delivery style and these bars that you hear, man, y'all, and I'm quoting Soulja Slim in there, you know what I mean? These boys claim to be some soldiers, but you soldiers ain't no soldiers, man. I told you and I showed you. I'm a soldier for life. Stop playing dumb. It's good versus evil. It's only two sides. Class in session. Y'all need to attend just like my shoe size. Murder music hit different when somebody in my crew died. The biggest gangsters in rap got blind hair and blue eyes, man. When they hear that, they're like, oh, this dude ain't scared about nothing that we saying. You know, I wanted people to know that, bro.
4.6 second applause.
Yeah.
Yo, man. I mean, that whole story. Okay, so we got the black forces. Mm-hmm. We got the white air forces.
And then we
got the down south and
we got
Reeboks.
the soldieries. We got the soldieries. And if you from the NO and you know anything about that era we grew up in, man, them black soldier Reeboks, that make a statement right there. You heard me? Shout out to my man Polo. He is a legendary photographer in New Orleans, right? Polo, the photographer, everybody knows him, number one. Number two, I was like, man, I need some soldieries, you heard me? But I don't know who got a pair, right? I happened to call Polo, right? The same day I released the song, I called Polo, like, man, you got so many legendary pictures from that era where Cash Money was just coming up and No Limit was just coming up. Polo, man, you got like any pictures of some soldieries or whatever? Guess what Polo told me?
What he say?
I got some on my feet right now.
Word up.
I got some on my feet right now. He said, you want a picture? I said, yes, indeed, brother.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's the picture, brother. He took them off his feet while we were on the phone the same day the song dropped and snapped me that picture, bro.
That's what's up. That's beautiful.
So, yeah, I had to add a different take on it, man. I said, okay, we doing the Air Force Ones thing. Cool. Let me just keep it as real and as authentic as possible. And if you know, you know.
It connected.